Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Breaking Ground. I'm Christine Valia, and well, remember how viewers, since Monday, when the monsoon session first began this season, we've seen little business take place given how the opposition has repeatedly, outside and inside Parliament, staged protests against the centre. A reaction coming in now from Rahul Gandhi, who's once again hit out of the centre over GST rate hike. He says the recipe of gabbar for people struggling with inflation: make less, eat less, quench hunger with tadka of Jumlas. The Prime Minister, who has listened to the untold stories of friends, will now have to listen to the public and withdraw the GST. That's of course a translation to the Hindi tweet that has been put out by Rahul Gandhi on Twitter, wherein he is now hitting out at the Prime Minister. And once again we see an escalation to the GST politics, the price hike politics that continues outside of the Parliament as well, with Rahul Gandhi once again hurling the Jumla jibe. Now, if we talk about the monsoon session, like I was saying, it has seen little business since it started on Monday due to opposition members, including the Congress, disrupting its proceedings over issues like GST on certain food items and of course price rise in general. And just this morning we heard BJP come out with a scathing attack. It was Smriti Irani who attacked Rahul Gandhi, even as the Lok Sabha proceedings got adjourned today as well, following opposition's protests over issue of price hike. She in fact even took a swipe at Rahul Gandhi and said that the Congress leader may be unproductive politically but should not try to curb the legislature's productivity. So that was a attack, an allegation, a charge that came in from the BJP this morning, and a tweet that has now been put out by Rahul Gandhi taking a swipe at Prime Minister Narendra Modi, hurling the Jumla jibe. Now, if we talk about this war of words, it's been ongoing the past couple of days, especially ever since the monsoon session commenced. But Smriti Irani this morning alleged that Rahul Gandhi's political life has been dotted with a show of disrespect to parliamentary procedures and traditions. So she also went on with her set of allegations and charges at the Congress leader, with him now coming back with a response and putting it out on Twitter, hurling the Jumla jibe. So we see how this GST politics is now escalating by the hour, wherein we've seen the BJP on one hand raise questions over Rahul Gandhi's attendance in Parliament. That's one charge that the BJP has leveled, to which Rahul Gandhi responds with a Jumla jibe. He's taken to Twitter, put out this tweet, talks about recipe of gabbar for people struggling with inflation. So he's once again raking up the issue of inflation and talking about a recipe: make less, eat less, quench hunger with tadka of Jumlas. Then he goes on to say that the Prime Minister, who's listened to the untold words of friends, will have to listen to the public and withdraw this GST. If we talk about the GST price hike, the BJP has been saying it since the very first day when the opposition raked up this issue, that this was a decision taken unanimously by involving all stakeholders on board when the GST Council meeting took place last month. And so these are uncalled for, baseless allegations. Let me go across to Mr. R.P. Singh, who's joining us on the phone line. Mr. R.P. Singh, what do you make of this latest tweet being put out by Rahul Gandhi? He's talking about a recipe of inflation, certainly a sly jibe, and then a Prime Minister remark also coming in, wherein he says the Prime Minister of the country must listen to the voices of the people and take sternest action at the earliest.
Well, they have two chief ministers still with them, three rather, including the Jharkhand chief minister. The Jharkhand and the Chhattisgarh and the Rajasthan government are on board when decisions are taken. He should have marked this tweet CC to all three chief ministers of his party also, or his supported party. So, because whenever a decision is taken, it's taken by GST Council, not by central government or any individual in the government. So, his state government representatives were on board, and Mamata Banerjee, and so is the YSR, so is the KCR, and all other chief ministers, even the Biju Janata Dal, even the Stalin, all these put on board. So it's not only that BJP is taking a call; it's every party, all parties, all governments put together which takes a call.
Sardar R.P. Singh, you know what's happening amidst all of this? What we are seeing is little business take place in the Parliament premises since the monsoon session commenced this Monday. We're seeing no productive discussions being held. The opposition, right when the session starts, protesting inside and outside the parliament both. So that's a charge that the BJP is also levelling, that Rahul Gandhi really has no right to try and stop any sort of parliamentary discussions, given that he himself barely respects any of those traditions.
Well, he was almost 40% absent from the parliament in the last sessions also. So he doesn't believe in any parliamentary democracy. There is a party which is led by individuals, that party which is led by family, and they barely believe in the democracy. But that point aside, even when the Supreme Court judges also says that the parliamentary democracy should function better, then it lies equally on the opposition also. That's the reason when the bill comes,
Yes, thank you, Mr. R.P. Singh, for getting us that perspective on this big story. We're seeing a lot of chaos take place inside Parliament as well over the GST issue. Let's see how it plays out. Yet another comeback coming in from Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. For the moment, moving on to more, we're tracking on monsoon.